In this video, we got a full map tour of Sparks, Nevada. We've got the Sparks Marina right behind us, one of the hidden gems here in Sparks. Maybe not hidden, but one of the gems. Guys, we're gonna be showing you what it's like to live, eat, sleep, play in Sparks, the schools, the golf, and everything in between. So if that's information that you're looking for, stay tuned. What's happening, guys? I'm Joe Hanich. If this is your first time to the channel, we're bringing you all things Tahoe, Reno, Sparks related, what it's like to live, eat, sleep, play, golf, gamble, and everything else in between. So if that is something that you're looking for, hit that subscribe button down below, hit that little bell so you get notified every time we do a new video. We're putting them out every single week. And we've got people reaching out to us non-stop, relocating here, moving here, and we absolutely love it. So if you do love the channels, you are moving to the area, make sure you call us, make sure you text us, send an email. We're working day, night, weekends, holidays, you name it, we're working. So let us know. We got your back when moving to Reno, Tahoe. All right, guys, so let's get into it. We've got Sparks Marina right behind me. It's a beautiful walking path, 2 miles. We got a fantastic dog park I'll talk about, but just one of the many reasons people are locating and moving to Sparks, Nevada, as far as the affordability and things of that nature. So we're going to do a full map tour so we don't miss any area. So stay tuned. Let me get the map up. Alright guys, so here we have Sparks, Nevada here pulled up on the map. As you can see, it's basically connected to Reno here. That's why when you kind of talk about the Reno area, Sparks gets included with it. Even though it is a little bit smaller, it's quite a bit more spread out. Population, we're looking at a little over 100,000 people. But again, you talk about Reno, you're basically talking about Sparks as well. So let's just get right into it. First and foremost, we'll talk about the schools kind of in the area. Some of them are rated a little bit better than some schools in the Reno area. Some not so much. So it really kind of just all depends on where you're at. One of the top elementary schools actually is going to be Van Gorder Elementary School. One of the best ranked elementary schools in the area. And that's going to be in the Red Hawk kind of Wingfield Springs area, as you can see right here. Yeah, just an all-around good school. Again, there's some great preschools, daycares, and things like that in the Wingfield Springs kind of Red Hawk area that we'll get into here in a little bit. Personally, I like the Red Hawk golf course. One of my favorites. I'll go in depth here shortly, but as far as middle schools go, Lou Mendive, so the Mendive Middle School, is again one of the top ranked middle schools in Sparks. That's going to be in East Sparks. See it right here on the map. Again, just great ranked. They do a really good job there. And then high school wise, and then as far as to elementary schools and middle schools, I mean, there's a handful of great schools in the area. If you need private, there's also private schools that are available. And then as far as high schools go, we've got a couple. One of the best in Sparks is again up north, kind of Sparks. It's actually in the Spanish Springs area, and that's Spanish Springs High School, located just north of Sparks. As far as zoning goes, everything kind of just on the south tip of Red Hawk here. So you're kind of looking, all the way across from here north. Hopefully you guys can see my mouse here. But the Red Hawk area, the southern tip of Red Hawk, just north of Vista is going to be zoned for Spanish Springs High School. And then your other high schools that we are going to have will be Sparks High School. Where are we at here? Right in the heart of Sparks. Not as great as some of the other high schools. So there's Sparks, and then we also have Edward Reed High School as well. And then they're actually in the process of building a brand new high school. They're taking Hug High School right here that doesn't really have the best reputation, but they're going to be moving Hug basically. They bought about 3/4 of Wild Creek Golf Course here. They've been doing construction on it for a little while now, but they're going to be building and relocating basically Hug High School to this new high school that's going to be done and built for the 2022 school year, which is going to be awesome. It's zoned there in Sparks, and so I think it's going to help out quite a bit in the Sparks area. They're definitely in need of another high school, and it's going to be brand new. As far as Hug goes, they are going to be turning that into I believe it's a career and technical education campus, so a CTE. My fiance actually had to write that down. She gave me the good info on just calling it a CTE. She's actually a school counselor at an elementary school there in Sun Valley. So I've got the ins and outs on the schools just because I got some inside information. So if you guys need any more info about, again, elementary, middle school, high school, some of the private schools as well, reach out, send a comment down below, and we can kind of go in depth a little bit further. But again, since I have that little bit of insider info, I'm just full of information over here. And then just a little fun fact with Wild Creek Golf Course, they do have a par 3 that they are keeping. It's fun little, get out and have a quick little hour round just to get out and, hit the sticks. And then I also believe they're keeping 6 holes to do kind of like an executive course. They might have a par 5 with it, some par 4s and some par 3s as well, but kind of making the best of that situation. But moving on from schools, as far as some real estate goes, in the Sparks High kind of area, you're going to find some older homes, some affordability there. Maybe not the best or the nicest. It's definitely getting gentrified, and it's, some of the homes are, 60s, 70s, a little bit older. Again, there's a lot of opportunity there. I'll get into it a little bit, but this Victorian Square, Victorian Avenue, kind of all around here, the condos that they're building and putting in, it's really kind of changing and giving a facelift to Sparks, which is definitely needed. The farther east that you go, right, to kind of the Mendive a little bit, middle school in this area, you are going to be able to find some homes in the 300,000s. Some will be a little bit older, but then there's also a lot of new construction going on as well in the DeAndrea area. Beautiful homes. I mean, again, if you could, you could be looking at homes in the 5, 6, 800,000 range as well. So there's a pretty big jump from that 300,000 and up level. And then the farther north that we go, again, I said this is one of my favorite areas going up north, just because it's all pretty new in a sense. As new, I mean, is after 2000s. So there's a lot of developments in here that are post 2000s. I consider that new-ish, right? You're not dealing with 70s. You're not dealing with lead-based paint, asbestos, the popcorn ceilings and things like that. So in my opinion, I'm calling that new. But as far as new construction goes, I mean, you name the area here up north, and it seems like they're building. In the Red Hawk area, just some fantastic, really golf course living. The Red Hawk golf course actually has 2 championship 18-hole courses there, which are both fantastic. They have a lakes course and a hills course. The lakes course was designed by Robert Trent Jones Jr., and it's an awesome course. I don't know if I like the lakes or the hills better. Kind of depends on if, I feel like losing more balls in water versus out of bounds in the hills and maybe finding them. But the hills course was designed by three-time U.S. Open champion Hale Irwin, and it's awesome. The hills course, you have amazing views of the valley. You've got the city, and then the hills send you into, the hills that aren't really developed all that much, which is sweet. Actually, yesterday, just driving the area, checking it out, just wanted to see kind of the development and how things are going over there. I saw a little coyote just right off the road. Cool to see. Obviously not great for the little dogs or the cats or things like that. So just, if you are kind of in the hills a little bit, be aware. There's still wildlife and things like that out there. I've been playing plenty of times out at the hills course and have seen antelope running around, which is awesome. And again, that coyote. So it was kind of cool. Some other great things about the Red Hawk Golf Course. They do have a gym there that you can become a member that has a swimming pool. They've got a fitness center, and then they also offer classes, right? So like your Pilates, your yogas, your things like that. They offer over 100 different classes there. And then on top of being a member to the fitness center, I think you also get discounts on the golf there as well. So kind of a little bit of a win-win. Again, as far as the homes go, beautiful homes, fantastic, built. They're all relatively new, mid, 2000s and newer. There are also some lots that are still available. So if you are wanting to do some new construction, there are some lots to grab in there, and then we can start from scratch and build, your custom home exactly how you want it. And then as far as the hills course, there are some beautiful homes up there that are pretty lavish. We're looking, 4,000, 5,000 square feet and more with views, with a little bit of everything up there, which is, again, you're going to see on some of these videos, some of these homes are just amazing to see the architecture. Again, you're sitting up on the hill, so you have views of the whole valley down below. You can see as far as the eye can go. Some of the best schools up there. Daycares are awesome. And then you have your own like Wingfield Springs new shopping center as well. Again, like I said, I like it all because it's really brand new. It's super clean. You're just a little bit outside of the city, maybe 15 minutes. I will say, though, the downside to kind of living up north a little bit, as you can kind of see, you only have access from two roads, right? You can take Vista Boulevard, which is going to be your road to get you into the Wingfield Springs area, Red Hawk area, and Vista, comes all the way down here, connects all the way to the highway. You also can take Sparks Boulevard, but that actually will turn into Pyramid Highway here, and then you can take Pyramid Highway. So one of the issues of living up north is that it just gets congested. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I live in South Reno right now, and so I'm not doing that commute, in the mornings or in the afternoons, but I will say from golfing out there from time to time and then coming back afterwards, you can see the congestion. You just kind of get bottlenecked a little bit. They did widen Pyramid Highway kind of over by McCarran, which definitely helps out with the commute. But just note that that is kind of a little bit of a pain in the butt. So if you are kind of commuting into Reno or down at USA Parkway, might take a little bit longer, but ultimately I think it's worth it because the homes and everything being as new as they are out here and the new development, it's just absolutely beautiful. So touching back on a couple more of the golf courses kind of in the Sparks area. We talked about Wild Creek a little bit. Cool little course. Again, I think they are going to keep the 6 hole, and then they also have their par 3 as well. That it's fun enough to get out and have a good time with the kids. The wife or even the guys. If you aren't, you don't have time to play a hole 18, you can rent carts. You can do a push cart or walk it. It's not too terrible. And then I just played Kylie Ranch as well, which is right here, and that's another par 3, just a lot of fun. It's not, I'll throw the satellite view on here. It's not extremely difficult. And again, it's just a good time to get out, enjoy the weather, take the kids, friends, wife, whoever it may be. Just a lot of fun. And there's actually a little bit of water there, so you get a good change of scenery. And then homes in here, again, there's quite a few townhomes starting in the 300,000s, which is great, if that's your budget, just to kind of get your foot in the door. And that place, was a lot of fun. As far as, talked about Kylie Ranch, Wild Creek, Red Hawk, there was one of my favorite golf courses in the, just about in all of the Reno Sparks area, and that was DeAndrea. DeAndrea Golf Course is, where are we looking at? Right in this area, right? DeAndrea Parkway here. Unfortunately, from what I heard, the homeowners were offered to up their HOA by, I want to say it was under $50 a month. I believe everyone in the HOA decided not to, and the golf course could no longer keep up with the water bill, and so the golf course vanished. Super sad. That's what I heard. I'm not 100% positive if that's exactly how it all went down, but nevertheless, now you have a golf course. You have golf course living and homes on a beautiful golf course up on a hill. Still great views, but now you just have, old kind of grass a little bit. But I literally was just up there 2 days ago, and I will tell you, on a plus side, you still have all the golf cart paths, right, running through this this old golf course. So that would be a lot of fun. As far as it being a walking path, I don't think you can get any better than that. The dogs would absolutely love it. I just got a great idea just to take my dogs up there, and launch the chuck it down some of these hills and get them all tired. I also have heard rumors that they are wanting to bring back the golf course. The clubhouse, I know, burned down right after it closed and things of that nature. It is kind of shut off a little bit, so you can't access all of it. But I really hope they bring it back. Actually, fantastic story, since it is kind of up in the hills and a little bit outside of town, right? You're in all of these rolling hills over here with just a plethora of wildlife. A buddy and I got a bucket of balls. We were getting ready to hit a bucket of balls before playing 18 out there, and we're driving in the golf cart, and literally about 5 feet in front of us, we hear something like jump, or just like hear some rocks kind of moving a little bit. No lie, a 5x5 at least. I have a friend who can back up this story as well. Mule deer jumped right in front of us off this little cliff, landed, and then ran down the entire driving range, and stopped like 100 yards on the driving range and looked back at everybody. It was amazing. It was by far the biggest muley I've ever seen in my life. Seth Leyland was the buddy there, so he can vouch and agree that story is true. But again, there's a lot also of new construction going on all over the place up here. A little bit of an old map, and so they're just developing and developing. So if new construction is something that you're looking for with a view as well, there's some awesome homes going up. Lennar Homes are building. I want to say they're starting in the mid 300s and working their way up from there. So again, great schools in this area as well. This is going to be East Sparks, east of Vista Boulevard. Vista was running all the way up into the Wingfield Springs area, North Sparks, which is awesome. I think that just about covers the golf, some of the schools. So let's get into the fun stuff. I guess we'll continue on golf just a little bit. So you guys, we've got Wild Island here. Just an awesome water park for the kids. Some sweet slides. And not just for the kids. I mean, from time to time, we'll jump out with some friends and hit the water park. They've got a lazy river as well, which is so much fun, just to hang out, relax, get some good sun, and you can literally float right to the bar, grab your favorite cocktail, your favorite brewski, and just lounge. Don't forget your sunscreen. I'm obviously pretty fair-skinned, so bring all of the sunscreen. You don't want to forget that. But not only is it a water park, they also have bowling, your go-karts. I believe they have your laser tag as well. And then one of my other favorite parts, they have a 36-hole little putt-putt. So you can do 18, and then they have another 18 as well to kind of mix it up. Again, just a lot of fun. Head out there with some friends, put some wagers down on some putts, and just enjoy yourself. One thing Sparks kind of gets knocked for is that it doesn't really have, the downtown, the nightlife like its big brother Reno has. And that may be true to some extent. They don't have the multi skyscraper kind of casinos that you can hit 4 or 5 of them right downtown in walking distance. But Victorian Square, right off the highway, is definitely getting a facelift, like I said, and it's taken over. I mean, it's the downtown Sparks kind of area, and I lived off 9th Street. My fiance and I lived off 9th Street. She lived there for a lot longer than myself, and we still have good friends who live in the area. But I lived there for about 4 or 5 years, and we had a blast at Victorian Square, just being able to walk to everything. You have some fantastic breweries. One of my favorite breweries to go to is Great Basin Brewery. If you guys like IPAs, I'm sure you've had their Icky IPA. Fantastic beer. Another one of my favorites from there is their Chili Beso beer. I don't think that they brew it year-round. I think it's kind of a summer thing, but just a great beer to kind of mix it up a little bit. And I have some really good friends who just opened a tap house and kind of to-go spot called Packs and Pints down here. And they've got 30 different taps on. And then if you're looking for anything to go as far as beer, wine, or anything like that, they also have you covered there. Cool little spot, great atmosphere. And then there's a couple other awesome spots down here as well. And they're actually Packs and Pints is right in here. As far as there's a sweet Italian spot that I absolutely loved. And then there's also Blind Onion Pizza. Fantastic pizza spot. And one of the best things that I did like about Victorian Square is the walkability. It's super pedestrian friendly. And you can check all of these places out, and go back and forth from one to the other. And it's just a lot of fun. They also have have Galaxy movie theaters in there as well. It's a little bit of the older theater. So I wouldn't say it's a discount theater, but it's not as nice as one of the newer ones at Legends that I'll kind of talk about here as well. Currently, as far as entertainment goes at Victorian Square, they just put in an amphitheater. The Nugget Casino put in, but it's located just literally right in this area. It seats 8,500 people, so it's huge, and it actually is, gives them the ability to bring in some higher names. Hopefully, after we can get live music again, that's going to be a fantastic venue. I want to say that Toby Keith played out there, or was planned to play out there, and then COVID might have canceled it. But I personally haven't been there yet, but super excited once it does open back up to head over there. And really the development just going on in Victorian Square are basically new within the last 5 years. So it's super clean. Things are looking up in that area as far as a investor or investment goes. There's some houses in here that are a little, beat up and a little bit older, but would be a great investment, especially with all the development, new things going on in there. I would highly recommend it. Again, we still have some good friends who live in there, so it's still a good spot. And then we've got the Nugget Casino, and so if gambling is a little bit more your thing, the Nugget Casino is the only high-rise casino in Sparks, built in the 80s. Cool spot. It's your full service. You're gonna have your slot machines, your blackjack, all of your live poker as well. Craps is your thing. They've got craps tables, roulette, whatever you need to gamble or however you like to gamble, they also have it there. And then probably one of my absolute favorite things is the rib cook-off. It is the best in the West rib cook-off. They shut down Victorian Avenue, which is it's awesome. I mean, they close it down and they bring in all sorts of different vendors. You have about, over 20 teams, 20 rib cooking teams showing up around the nation, competing for a purse of, I think it's 20,000. I think it might be going up every single year. So it just brings out the best rib guys in the entire nation. They are baby back pork ribs, and my mouth is watering just talking about it and thinking about it right now. I was heartbroken this year. 2020 got canceled. Thank you, COVID. But they'll be back next year. And it's super kid-friendly. Bunch of live music. Again, a bunch of vendors. So if ribs aren't your thing, doesn't matter. They have a little bit for everybody. And then pro tip, as far as parking goes, I remember living there, and that was the one thing that I hated during the rib cook-off, is that this area just gets filled with all sorts of people parking. And then, obviously, if you live there and don't have a designated parking spot, you're kind of screwed. So there's shuttles that you can take. I would highly recommend taking a shuttle. Bring cash. You're going to need all the cash. And then, pro tip, I would highly recommend getting a VIP table. Look into it a little bit, but in the past years, you could do it for, about 8 or 10 people. Comes out to about $100 a person. They bring the ribs to you. It's all you can eat. It might even be all you can drink. So if that's the case, I'm, getting my money's worth doing that. And then you don't have to fight for the crowds, and, they bring all the ribs to you. So that's your pro tip for the best in the West rib cook-off. Alrighty. We are moving along. See, Sparks, guys. Sparks is where it's at. Reno's great and everything, but Sparks also has a lot going for it. And probably one of the best things you guys saw in the intro video was the Sparks Marina here. And then you also have the outlets at Legends right next to it. The development and the growth and kind of everything that's been going on there the last 5 years has also been absolutely amazing. It's just great to see, because they weren't in the best of ways, a couple years ago. So now it's booming. It's definitely back. The Legends outlets right here, there's about 45 different shops and restaurants kind of in here. You're going to have some pretty cool places. You've got your Nike outlet, great spot to go to. You're going to have like your H&M, Forever 21s, your Old Navy, Banana Republic, just a couple other ones, your Lowe's Home Improvement. There is a Chick-fil-A there. Shout out Chick-fil-A. And then probably the biggest sporting goods store I've ever been into in my entire life is Shields here. Guys, if you haven't been to Shields, just check it out. Bring your family there. You can have a day there just by itself, I feel like. Shields has these huge fish tanks. You guys have probably seen them before, but they've got a saltwater fish tank and a freshwater that the kids absolutely love. They've got everything from golf clubs to bow and arrows, to your hiking gear. You name it, they have it at Shields. They even have a Ferris wheel there as well. So there you have it, guys. The Legends at Shields, or Legends outlets with the Shields. Go check it out. It's a fantastic time. And then the Sparks Marina here, literally just right next to it. You could park in here and then do the 2-mile little trail that goes around the Sparks Marina. So the trail that goes around it, you can walk it. You can walk your dogs. If you are walking your dogs in the summer, make sure they've got something on their feet, because that pavement gets hot, super hot. So whether that's booties, or you do, we've got it's like a wax that we put on it just to kind of protect, put a layer on their paws, because it does get hot, guys. You wouldn't even realize it, and then you're burning their pad, and you feel like such a jerk for doing that, obviously, if you love your dog, and huge dog lovers. Shout out Sawyer and Piper. I'll be getting them on the channel here soon, so you guys stay tuned. But yeah, the probably my favorite thing about the Sparks Marina is the dog park that they have. It is located on the south end, so you're either parking over here and then hiking to get to it, or parking over here and then not hiking, I mean walking to get to it, or parking over the Shields area and then walking to get to it as well. The reason why I love it is that it's gated, right? So if your dog loves to just get off the leash and then take off and you never find him again, well, it's gated, so you don't really have to worry about that. And it gives them access to the lake. So there's not a lot of dog parks in the area that do that. I don't know if any of them. And I don't know if I've ever been to a dog park, that gives access to the lake that's also gated. So it's an awesome time to just tire the dogs out, however many you have. And then just walk back to the car and take them home after that. So that's one of the biggest things that we love about it. Again, 2-mile loop, which is great. You can paddleboard in there. It's all non-motorized boats in the marina. So if you have a sailboat, it's awesome. You can have a little trolling motor, which is great. I believe, I'm not sure if this is even true or not, but I've heard that when they were building this marina, that something got flooded and there's a bunch of tractors at the bottom of the lake. I've also heard that they, sunk a plane at the bottom of the lake for scuba divers. I believe it's 100 feet down. So look up the rules and kind of regulations on if you are scuba diving out there, because I think there are some things that you have to follow. As far as the lake goes, it's about 80 million gallons. There's an aquifer right next to it, so every day I read that about 2 to 3 million gallons of new water is being pumped into the marina, and then obviously water being pumped out, and that's their filtration system. As far as the water goes, personally, I'm not swimming in it. I'll let my dogs swim in it. They do, have a great time. I might have swam in it years ago, but just use your own discretion if you are going into Sparks Marina. But I will paddleboard, and I have paddleboarded there plenty of times, and it's a blast. They've got volleyball courts, barbecue pits, playgrounds for the kids. Really, it's just a fantastic little spot with Shields right here, kind of right next to it. It's the 1-2 punch. Also at Shields, they have the brand new Galaxy movie theater. When this first came to Reno or Sparks, and I lived in Sparks, I was so happy. They've got those recliner chairs. You hit a button and you can recline and sit back and just watch your movie. They've got beer that you also can purchase, which is fantastic. I think they're up to 32 ounces. And I kind of took it as a challenge, right, to get one of those and watch a whole movie without using the restroom. Bad idea. Don't do that, because it is not fun. You're going to have to go to the bathroom. But it's got an IMAX there. It's just, go check it out. It's awesome. The seating's great. It's brand new, so you're just absolutely going to love it. Awesome, guys. I think that we may have covered all of Sparks, Nevada. And then you can kind of see here south of Sparks, south of the 80 East, there's just going to be a lot of commercial buildings going on in here. So not a whole lot going on. But I will say I just went to a brand new brewery and loved it. So I'm going to pass that along. But Revision Brewing Company. Where it just went. Right here. Fantastic beers. It's a huge spot. I feel like they purchased like 100,000 square foot warehouse. But it's great. The beer is fantastic. And so I'm highly looking forward to going back there. And what else did I want to touch on before we go? Oh, the sports complex out here. So Golden Eagle Regional Park. Guys, check this out on the satellite. Right? This place is huge. They put in, I think it was about 1.4 million square foot of AstroTurf in 2008. It was, at the time, the largest AstroTurf park in the entire world. Maybe just the U.S. I could have made up the world, but in the U.S., not sure if it still is, but as far as like a youth sports goes, it's got soccer fields, it's got your baseball fields, it's got the softball fields for the kids. I mean, the thing has its own bar and grill. You know, that's how big it is. I've got buddies who are playing softball out there just about every weekend, and they're always telling me how good of a time it is out there. And I've been out there multiple times. It is a lot of fun, and it's huge. So for the kids, like, I don't think it gets any better than that, and I think the adults might have more fun than the kids go. But just east of Red Hawk, and then again, just all that. These are dated pictures, so it's all just getting developed in here. Brand new construction houses going on. But guys, I think that is it. I think we covered Sparks, Nevada pretty well. Again, it's a great spot. They've got, everything from high twos. You can get some even townhomes in here, the starting maybe in the low twos even. Some older kind of needing some rehabilitation homes in here for those investors. And then we've got your brand new construction homes, the 4, 5, 600,000 plus. And it really, whatever you want to make of it. Some of the homes in here, I mean, again, are just immaculate, just beautiful homes, over $1 million, which is, if that's what you're looking for, that's exactly what I will find you. So when you guys are moving to the Reno, Sparks, Tahoe area, make sure you're reaching out to us, right? Shoot us a text, give us a call, hit us with an email, whatever it is that you have to do in order to get a hold of us. Let us know, guys. We're here for you. Days, nights, weekends, holidays. I'll work on my birthday. I'll work on your birthday. Just let us know, guys. Thanks again, and we will be putting out a new video next week, and we will see you then.